Good morning and welcome to this edition of Expert Speak. Today, I'm going to be having a conversation with Tashu Dorji Dradul, who is the Director General of Tourism in the Kingdom of Bhutan. We all know that Bhutan has set a wonderful example of tourism. It's a tourist paradise in the globe, the much sought after destination, and Bhutan has set an example in the tourism industry with its model of high value, low impact tourism, its focus on sustainability, and of course, the gross national happiness indicator of Bhutan also is a great beacon of hope for the whole world on how the sustainability standards in tourism can be maintained and inclusive standards can be upheld. So I'm really delighted to have Dorji Tashu Dradul on today's Expert Speak. Before he joined the Tourism Council of Bhutan as its Director General, Dorji Tashu Dradul has also a very, very rich expertise, a field of expertise in the area of agriculture. He was also the governor of the district of Gaza, and he's also a man of many talents, and he's written a novel called Escapades Awakening. So an extremely well-rounded personality, and we're really delighted, Dasho, to welcome you to this edition of Expert Speak on behalf of Asian Confluence. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Datta. Thank you very much, and thank you. I mean, you have been so kind to introducing me. Actually, I don't deserve such a good introduction. Now, let me also take this opportunity, Mr. Datta. We know that we have been planning to have you here in last January. Last January, we put together in Bhutan, in Thimphu, an event to basically to exchange the sustainable tourism between the Northeast India particularly and also West Bengal. We had an eminent journalist from Northeast and West Bengal, and you are also supposed to be there, but you unfortunately you couldn't come. But of course, you have really helped us to realize that event. So I sincerely like to thank you very much, and I look forward to having you in near future, to visit our country and for a similar engagement. So thank you so much, and it's really an honor to be part of this interview.
Thank you so much, Dasho. Dasho, may I just get this conversation going with COVID-19? The whole world has been taken by surprise, and we are entering a new normal as a human race, as a world. In fact, it's kind of unwise probably to think that it's going to be business as usual post COVID, and in that context, may I ask you, what are the key learnings in Bhutan, especially from your perspective, in tourism from COVID-19? And how do you see things panning out in the near future?
Okay, so overall, I believe tourism globally will see a sea, as you have just highlighted, post-coronavirus. But however, interestingly, I feel Bhutan will be a little bit different, because some of the changes that we are foreseeing post-COVID-19, even in tourism, we feel that Bhutan is already practicing, or it is in our policy. So we will be of not so much of a surprise to us, the changes that is going to come. I hope that this statement will be further elaborated when we proceed with the conversation. Now, I like to answer this quite specifically to your question, like the key learnings, especially in tourism. First, I would say that we understand now, realize that the tourism is highly vulnerable due to this globalized world that we are in. any events that is taking place anywhere in the world has far-reaching consequences for all of us. I mean, including countries like Bhutan, such a remote and not so well connected with the rest of the world, but even we are getting this effect. And of course, we have, because of this, what we are realizing is all the countries, including Bhutan, we should have other viable economic options. Because for Bhutan, you know that tourism is the second largest contributor to the GDP. And now with no tourism, things are quite scary because now what would happen? Of course, we still are very positive that things will pick up. But then one biggest learning is that we need to have other avenues. Now, second, I would say also the learning is that there is a need for increased preparedness between and a closer collaboration between amongst the nation. Now, it is a global thing. So now no country can be on its own. Then third, I would say very specific to Bhutan, especially in tourism, is we are realizing, we are learning from this COVID that our Bhutan's time-tested tourism policy of high value, low volume. Once again, I mean, it proves its value, and as it allows for us, as I said earlier, continuation of tourism in Bhutan post COVID-19. Because we, as I've said earlier, we may not need to make any sort of a drastic internal adjustment. And this high value low tourism, why I'm saying is this learning is because this policy basically, and now with this COVID-19 in tourism, now everybody is afraid of this mass tourism, and we have been anyway avoiding this so far. So as I said earlier, it is not really going to be a big surprise to us. Then the fourth learning is now the tourism coming forward. I think now we need to prepare ourselves. It will be more of an individual. So maybe the big tourism coming in a big group, I think that may not be the new norm. So therefore, I think we need to now specialize in how to have a smaller groups, individual tourists. So this could be one. But again, for Bhutan, because of high value, low volume tourism policy, it fits quite well actually. And then the last one, I would say the fifth learning would be in terms of the tourism product. I think you have touched this before we actually started this interview, this conversation. We are talking about now even introducing new tourism products, like, I mean, at the global stage, particularly the well-being, the health, the wellness, which you have also expressed earlier. This will gain now popularity because as of today, amidst this coronavirus, you know, this coronavirus affects those people who have poor health, who have a poor immune system. So therefore, health, wellness, well-being is going to be the new norm in also in tourism. And again, this is good for Bhutan because Bhutan, as you know, is a place of well-being and also happiness. As you have again touched on this, gross national happiness. I know you are a very expert on this gross national happiness itself. And also the added advantage we have is traditionally, Bhutan in the long past has been popularly known as the land of medicinal herb. So therefore, we think that Bhutanese also now we will be able to specialize in wellness, well-being, traditional medicine, health-related. So these are some of the key learnings that that I've just shared with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think you laid out such a wonderful array of 5 or 6 key learnings, and I think there are many sharings that are possible, especially for our hill states and the northeastern states which border Bhutan. There are many medicinal plants, this biodiversity. It's a mountainous region just like Bhutan. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of takeaways from what you just said, Ashok. May I ask you now, post-COVID, how outward looking is the Kingdom of Bhutan still in terms of catering to tourists? I mean, obviously we have to be very careful on all sectors, on especially who is coming in, uh, and the health and the checks and balances. So how outward looking is Bhutan as of now?
Okay, thank you. Now, I think, Dr. Datta, you also know that, I mean, Bhutan was always, I mean, and is and will be always open to tourists. But again, within the framework of our gross national happiness, the sustainability, and which basically have defined our tourism policy of high value, low volume. So as long as we are within this framework, Bhutan welcomes everybody. So therefore, even post-COVID, we are excited. We want to open up. We want to welcome visitors to our country, but within this framework. Now, let me just touch a little bit on this policy. Now, this policy of high value, low volume comes from last 50 years. And in fact, this has started on the day when we started tourism in countries. It was in early 70s. And that time, our fourth king was at the helm, and it was his decision. And today, we also feel that, believe that this policy of high value, low volume in tourism is a gift from the Golden Throne. And now, going when you talk about post 19 COVID-19,
Hmm.
we feel that maybe there will be a good group of people who like to come to Bhutan now, especially of this COVID-19 experience, because COVID-19 we are talking about now the new norm, the social distancing, not really in favor of mass tourism, the big crowds and all. And for Bhutan, it is a perfect kind of situation because we, in terms of population, we are not even a million. We're just about 800,000. And then because of this, we have a lot of empty spaces. We have areas, and we feel that post COVID-19, Bhutan should be able to create an tourism experience where these things will be taken care, especially the social distancing, the health related, this kind of issues, concerns will be addressed. And as of now only, actually, I wish again you will share is because of the policy, the number of tourists that visits Bhutan is quite low comparing to other countries, even maybe even comparing to Northeast India, though we are quite similar, but I think the number is far more better, more there. So therefore, and that trend might continue. We will be still continuing with the lower volume, uh, focused, targeted, and which would actually again give a special exclusive experience to the tourists coming to Bhutan. So yes, I think we are open from the government side, but within the framework of our tourism policy. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Um, may I ask you now, move on to a slightly different subject, that is the use of social media and ICT. In your organization, the Tourism Council of Bhutan, how portals and social media um, to engage with your potential uh, customers and to market Bhutan in the sense in the current times, of obviously under the current circumstances, planning ahead, and how are you going about that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. This is totally a very important topic. And even globally now, we are really talking about digitalization and, but as of now, I would say that till now, before COVID-19, we have not been so strong on this. Now, we are really trying to work on this and take advantage of this, the new IT digitization. So that is something that we will be working on. But despite our sort of a strong input in that, Bhutan has been receiving quite a fair share of attention at the global stage. Just wanted to share that Bhutan very recently have been ranked as listed as a #1 travel destination by Lonely Planet in 2020. But unfortunately, because of COVID-19, so tourists are anyway not coming. And then again in 2020 by an organization called PATWA. PATWA is a Pacific Asia Travel Association. It's also a global organization. They have also given us the best travel destination for happy tourism in 2020. And then the third one is again by a Virtuoso, which is again a travel high-end travel organization, and they have also named Bhutan as the #1 wellness destination on the rise. So we have been receiving kind of a certain attention both in the print media and in the online media. So yes, and coming to the present COVID-19 situation, it is also very important that we keep our prospective tourists about what is happening in Bhutan, so especially related to COVID. And for COVID, actually, our Ministry of Health, they post daily updates, and Tourism Council, we share this and we also post that information in our website, and which would inform our prospective tourism. And I like to share, I think, again, you touched on this before we started this interview. As of now, as a result of our visionary and empathic leadership of our king and the government, Bhutan has been so far lucky and safe. I can say this because as of today, we have just a total of 7 positive COVID cases, and of which 4 have already recovered. And as of now, touch wood, no deaths. So therefore, we are actually, as of now, things are, as far as COVID-19 is concerned, we are these are under control. And okay, I also wanted to share that Ministry of Health, now for tourism, happiness is a place is our tagline for destination marketing and management. Happiness is a place. Now, very recently, Ministry of Health has come up with this new initiative with a new tagline called happiness is a space, because we are talking about now social distancing. Now, to promote this communication on COVID-19, now Ministry of Health has added this new tagline called happiness is a space, in which we, in tourism sector, we feel this is syncs so well with our tagline of happiness is a place. So this is something, an innovation, a new idea that came from our Ministry of Health. Yes, I think I'll stop here.
Yeah, so well put. Happiness is a space. That's so nice, actually.
Yes.
May I ask you, there is a lot of focus now in the travel industry in light of COVID on plan now, travel later. Even in India, we are talking about this. How oriented is Bhutan to the idea of plan now, travel later?
Yes, we are very much oriented.
Your department in particular.
Yes, we are very much oriented to this idea of plan now, travel later. Now, in fact, we have been also, in a subtle way, trying to encourage our prospective visitor to already plan and book their trips to for the later date. And I think, Mr. Datta, you know that in our case, as of now, a tourist wanting to come to Bhutan, they have to plan their visit at least from minimum of 3 months, 12 months. I mean, this is the present situation. So therefore, anyway, this system of planning in advance is already there with Bhutan. Now, which in the future, this might change, but as of now, this is there. So basically what I'm trying to say is, we are actually already working, promoting the prospective tourists to plan for the plan now and for the travel later. And at the same time, Tourism Council of Bhutan, with support from the government, we are also trying to take this opportunity, because as of now, no tourists, maybe for quite some time, tourists will be not there. So we are taking opportunity to improve our services, our infrastructure. Specifically, if I mentioned earlier, you asked me this question, we want to also digitize some of our tourism services and products. For instance, Bhutan is known for trekking routes, and as of now, our trek routes are not digitized. So we are thinking of digitizing trek routes and so many other services. And also, we are also thinking of making the tourism system itself the more friendly to tourists. As of now, we hear some feedbacks from the tourists that things are not so efficient and effective when they when they plan their tourist tour to Bhutan. So these are some of the things that we are already preparing. So while the tourists are planning to come to Bhutan, we are preparing to welcome tourists once the COVID-19 opens us up. Yes.
Just a short question, and you may or may not have the answer. I don't know if anybody does, but I'll still ask the question anyway. You have any kind of a timeline that you are projecting in Bhutan, or some estimates?
Oh yes, for the tourists to start coming.
Yes.
Yes, we have done our own internal kind of assessment study in by TCB, and as per our earlier, I mean, this was is not, I mean, really up to date. Maybe about a
Sure.
month before we did this study, and as per that, we are hoping that in even in 2020, maybe about uh, mm, 20% or 30% of the tourists of that came in last year might still come. I mean, this was
Okay.
study that we have done about a month back. But and then by 2021, it would go reach to around 60%, and then by 2021, we are hoping that it will be 100% the recovery. So this is our timeline. But now after now almost having completed this study about a month back, now present scenario, I feel maybe 2020 things might go till the end of year. I think we are not very so
Right.
sure, but we hope that some tourists will still come, because we still have in our database some bookings have still been not been cancelled. As we speak, we have about still about 200 to 300 tourists who have been booked before COVID-19. These are still not cancelled, and we have been actually also supporting. The government has been supporting for those tourists who have cancelled their trips because of this COVID-19. And in our case, when they book the advance, the money has to come here. So we are even refunding those money. Full support from the government, mainly in solidarity with the global pandemic. That I mean, Bhutan is also supporting this effort.
Right. And what kind of promotional strategies are you engaging in as Tourism Council Bhutan to sort of uh, what can we expect to see from Bhutan in terms of promotion in the near future?
Yeah. Now, in terms of platforms, as I've said earlier, we really want to take advantage of the social media, the digital digitalization. These are something, and we are even thinking of using TVs, print media. So these are all things. But of course, we are also brainstorming as to whether there are any other new innovative ways of promoting a destination. uh, and the content. Now, in terms of that is in terms of the platform. In terms of the content, what we are thinking is we have our own brand Bhutan. Now, as of today, the brand Bhutan is usually popularly associated with our pristine nature, the carbon negative, the only carbon negative country in the world. We are talking about a unique culture, the gross national happiness, which you know very well, and the spiritualism and the Buddhism that we have here. And in fact, when I talk about Buddhism, in one of the last your interview with Shri MP, the former tourism secretary, he actually brought a new idea wherein the Buddhist circuit, he was promoting, expressing
Yes,
that
yes.
in this region like India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, we could develop this Buddhist circuit, and we are
Right.
also actually. So therefore, going forward, these are some of we are thinking of branding Bhutan, adding some new elements, new products to the brand Bhutan. So traditionally, culture, nature, happiness, environment are there. Now going forward, as I said earlier, wellness, well-being, spiritual, the religious, the Buddhist tourism. So these are some of the new things that we want to add to
Yes.
brand Bhutan and promote actually. So in terms of content, there will be some changes. And the other major component going forward in terms of post COVID will be the promotion, the development of domestic tourism. I understand that I got some information from Northeast India. I think they are also trying to now do promote domestic tourism, which seems to be an alternative to in such a situation. So as of now, in Bhutan, domestic tourism is not really So now during this time, we are also going to work on how to develop and promote domestic tourism. So yes, these are some of the new things in terms of content post COVID-19. But in terms of platform, yes, I think something to do with digital and
Sure, sure.
yes.
Um, a follow-up question: when you say domestic tourism in Bhutan, it means uh, within Bhutan, nationals of Bhutan can travel through the country, right?
Yes.
And are you thinking of sort of expanding that idea uh, to the immediate? Maybe we could come up with some circuits between Bhutan and the immediate neighborhood, say Northeast India, for example, which are also having similar sort of uh, endowments, nature and Buddhist circuits, and developing the Buddhist circuit, for example. So, um, how are you looking at regional tourism? And when I say the region, it's Bhutan and the immediate neighborhood of Bhutan, essentially.
No, in fact, the event that we had in January with participants from your organization and others, I mean, that
Right.
was one of the subject that we agreed that, and specifically for Bhutan, we see that our neighboring countries are going to be our biggest market, the ready market. Say India, whether it's Northeast India or I mean India as a whole, Bangladesh, and maybe even Nepal. So these are immediate our neighbors, which we can come as a regional tourism. So definitely this is going to be our ready market. So we are very much interested to take
Sure.
advantage of this. And now going forward, as you have already, as I have also touched, you have also touched one very specific product could be this Buddhist circuit. So when we do this Buddhist circuits, I mean, even Bhutan will be included, your country and others will include. So this is one area. So yes, just to summarize this, we are very much for promoting the tourism in the region, because if we do it so well within our own region, I don't think we really need to go outside this region, because the market is already there. The people wanting to travel. The only thing is, how do we organize this properly package this? As I said earlier, I still want to emphasize here, it has to be within the framework of high value, low volume tourism. Because now, because of this COVID-19, everybody is realizing, everybody wants to now follow this kind of approach. And we have been doing this so far, and we going post-19, we even want to further strengthen this. So as long as this is not compromised or sacrificed, regional tourism is definitely going to be a big welcome, and we really want to work on this. And so organization like yourself, I mean Asian Conference and all, I think we can come up with some new innovative ideas to promote, to make this as a reality.
Right. Thank you so much. I think Darsho, we have a few minutes left, and I can't resist asking you two questions. One is, you have such a rich background in agriculture. Also made a hint about new tourism products such as medicinal herbs being grown, and uh, do you see products such as innovation in the agri sector helping the tourism industry? For example, could we think of something like agri-tourism, where community-based tourism, where agricultural practices are a focus, for tourists to kind of visit. Uh, Bhutan has a rich portfolio of strengths there, medicinal herbs, so much of nature. So that's my first question. And my second and last question would be um, the immediate impact of the loss of livelihood in the tourism industry. I mean, a lot of small, maybe the big hotels can survive possibly, but the smaller guys, who run smaller hamlets, or the people who are at the bottom of the value chain, how are they dealing with um, the aftermath of COVID-19? Maybe you can give some crisp, short answers to both of these.
Thank you very much. I think these are very two important. Yes, definitely. I forgot to mention agro-tourism. tourism related with agriculture is also going to be one of the new products that Bhutan is going to promote. And for your information, I think you know this, Bhutan, by policy, we want to make the whole country an organic country in terms of agriculture. So these are really going to be a strength. So agrotourism is going to be one of the new product, definitely. Thank you so much for asking this. And even me coming from an agriculture background, I will be even more interested to promote this. The second part is even more important. I thought maybe this will be not covered, but thank you so much for covering this. Now, Bhutan, so far, I think we are a small country, not so resource endowed, but despite this, under the leadership of our visionary monarchs, our kings, and of course supported by the government, we have put in a stimulus package in place now. It is already under implementation. Especially the first priority has been, since tourism is said to be the hardest hit, those people who are actually laid off because of the COVID-19. We have already collected some information. We are talking about roughly more than about 5 to 6,000 these people, and at the national level it will be even more. So the stimulus package will go beyond these tourism sectors. Now, what are the specifics? The first one is our majesties. We call it as a relief scheme. So the King of Bhutan's relief scheme has been already rolled out, and basic cash handouts will be given to all those people who have been made jobless because of COVID-19. And as of now, it is the duration is for 3 months, April, May, and June. So 3 months, everybody who has become vulnerable, who have no income source, will be entitled to this cash handouts from His Majesty's Relief Fund. Then at the same time, Tourism Council of Bhutan, we are also now already identified. In fact, we are about to roll out from May, first week of May, wherein we have created some projects. Some of these projects will be in preparation for the COVID, after post-COVID-19 tourism, and we will engage those laid off people to work for us, and then they will be paid. It's a certain thing. And then, of course, at the national level, the government has also announced the deferment of the loan repayment for 3 months till end of June, and also interest have been also waived for all loans, not only for tourism sector, any loans that have been there by the citizens. So these are some of the initiatives that the Majesty and the royal government has done. So thank you very much for this, and we feel, as I've said earlier, so far we are under the things are under control. Now, if this is going to be my last speech, I mean the remark, can I say add something? Concluding.
Please.
So in conclusion, I would like to say that the advent of this coronavirus is very unfortunate. It is causing immeasurable pain and loss to both humans and the economy globally. And I hope and pray that world, I mean, all of us will come out of this tragic situation at the earliest possible. And also, I want to highlight here, and for this to happen, I think it is citizens, I mean, everybody in this world to act more responsibly, follow this Ministry of, I mean, the health guidelines, the advices of the doctors, so that we all come together and work together, and then we should be able to come out of this COVID situation. And in fact, we are actually, everybody's talking about that the COVID-19 seems to be the almost like a war between the human species and the virus. So therefore, it is now no option but for all the humans to come together, work as one family, and then fight this coronavirus. So thank you so much, Mr. Datta, and I'd like to wish you and your team a very safe and a happy time ahead. So thank you so much. It is such a great honor, opportunity for me to be part of, talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dashu, for coming online. And I think there'll be many learnings for many, including me, from this interaction with you and the experiences of Bhutan. And on a parting note, may I just underline that this COVID has taught us how so very important our environment is, and I think the values of growth and development that Bhutan has set in terms of sustainability, the gross national happiness as an indicator of development, I think there are many, many learnings for the whole globe, and certainly for us in the immediate neighborhood. So on that note, thank you again for coming, and we look forward to engaging further.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.